Hello friends, welcome to Budget IQ. We've all had that one thought, right? If I just had a bit more money, if I could just get that new car or that bigger house, then I would finally be happy. It really feels like the one true solution to all our problems. But what if I told you the science says something completely different?
So let's just ask the big question right up front. Will a bigger paycheck actually fix everything? Well, it turns out the link between our wallets and our well-being is way more complicated than you'd think. And today, we're going to dive into the surprising science that finally gives us some real answers.
All right, so let's get into the big myth. For years, scientists were basically in a heavyweight fight over this one simple question. Does money actually buy happiness? Well, a pretty groundbreaking collaboration between two rival researchers finally settled the argument. And trust me, the results are fascinating.
So in one corner, you've got this giant, a Nobel Prize winner named Daniel Kahneman. His famous research found that, yeah, money makes you happier, but only up to about 75 grand a year. After that, it pretty much flatlines. But then, in the other corner, you have Matthew Killingsworth, who used modern smartphone data to track people's feelings in real time, and he found the opposite, that happiness just keeps on rising with income way past $200,000. So, who was right?
Well, they teamed up to figure it out, and the verdict is pretty wild. It turns out, they were both kind of right. See, for about 15% of people, the unhappiest folks, more money does help, but its effect tops out at around $100,000. For the happy majority, though, about 80% of us, more money does keep leading to more happiness. But, and this is a huge but, there is a massive catch.
The relationship is something called logarithmic. Okay, in plain English, that means to get the same little boost in happiness, you have to keep doubling your income. Think about it. Going from $30,000 to $60,000 a year, that feels incredible. But to get that same feeling again, you'd have to jump from $60,000 to $120,000, and then from $120,000 to $240,000. It gets exponentially harder and more expensive to buy more joy, and that leads us to the biggest trap of all.
Which brings us to this monster of a concept, the hedonic treadmill. This is the big psychological reason why getting the thing you always wanted often doesn't feel as good for as long as you thought it would. It explains why we are always chasing that next thing. So our brains, right, they're basically wired to adapt. That amazing new car smell, the excitement of moving into a new house. It feels incredible at first, but our brain is designed to get used to it really fast and just return to its normal baseline level of happiness. It's like we're programmed to make the new normal feel, well, normal. We just keep running and running on this treadmill, but emotionally, we're not actually going anywhere.
And if you want the ultimate proof, check this out. A super famous study on lottery winners, people who won the jackpot, found that after the initial shock wore off, they weren't significantly happier than anybody else. In fact, get this, they actually started taking less pleasure in everyday things. Even a massive pile of cash can't break you out of this cycle.
And today, that treadmill has a turbo button, and it's called social media, the ultimate thief of joy. It used to be we'd just compare ourselves to our neighbors, keeping up with the Joneses. But now, thanks to our phones, we compare our real, messy lives to the perfectly polished highlight reels of millions of people online. And that is just a recipe for feeling like you're not enough.
Hey, quick pause. If you're finding this breakdown valuable, if it's making you think, do me a huge favor and smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. It honestly helps us out a ton and lets me know that you want more explainers just like this one. Thanks a bunch.
Okay, so if buying more stuff just keeps us running in place on this treadmill, then what's the answer? Are we just stuck? No way. The research is overwhelmingly 100% clear on this. If you want to spend your money to get a real return on happiness, you should be buying experiences, not things.
So why do experiences win every single time? Well, for one, they literally become a part of who you are, your identity. You're not just a couch owner, you're someone who's traveled, who's been to that amazing concert. Plus, our memories of experiences actually tend to get better over time. And, maybe most importantly, they connect us with other people, which is a huge predictor of happiness. Heck, even just looking forward to an experience is exciting.
And of course, just a quick reminder, while we're digging into all this cool science, remember, this explainer is for informational purposes. You should always do your own homework before making any big financial decisions. All right, now let's get practical.
Okay, enough theory. Let's get into the good stuff, the practical stuff. How can we actually use this science to step off that treadmill and be happier with what we've got? Here are some simple, super low-cost hacks you can literally start using today.
First up, try a micro-adventure.
This doesn't mean a huge trip. It can be as simple as exploring a new neighborhood or trying a different hiking trail. Next, actively fight comparison. Remind yourself that social media isn't real life. Try living more simply with a one in, one out rule. Every time you buy something new, something old has to go. And hey, don't forget about your local library. They are incredible community hubs for real human connection.
When you boil it all down, this whole thing points to a major mindset shift. We think what matters is owning more stuff, having a bigger bank account, getting that next big purchase. But what the science actually says matters is building your identity, having strong social connections, and creating memories that last a lifetime. That's the real currency.
And this really is the bottom line, right here. Money is an amazing tool to shield you from misery and solve problems. But once your basic needs are met, the path to true happiness isn't about buying more. The good life isn't something you can just add to your shopping cart. It's a skill. It's something you have to practice. So, I'll leave you with this question. What micro-adventure are you going to try this week? It could be super simple, like visiting a new park or trying a new coffee shop in the next town over. Seriously, let me know your plans down in the comments. I actually read them, and I'd love to see what you come up with.
Thanks so much for watching this explainer, everybody. I really hope you found it valuable. If you did, you know the drill. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into the science of living a better, smarter life. We'll see you in the next one.